Hello, hello, hello out there. We got sound, we've got video, we've got a late start. Yeah, if you saw my video last night, I said I was going to be on here at 10 a.m. Well, it's 12:25. That didn't work out, did it? It's okay. We had some guests over this morning from the Netherlands. And they're now on a bike ride with Freddie, and I have to get ready for class. But today I am making a sample for a future class. And if you see these here, it is a coloring kind of project, but it's also going to be a mixed media piece for the kids to do during summertime classes. I might actually do it during spring break. I'll do it spring break. Maybe we'll do it again in summer too. But definitely it's gonna be next month in spring break. So I I'm basically making the sample really quick. I might not get it all done in this video. Let me move the keyboard out of the way. But the plan is to make some of it now. I might do some more and I'll show y'all a finished product of it later on. I had mentioned last night in my video about these little diamond dot um, things that I got that I'm not really 100% happy about, but we're going to test them and then it's part of this project. Um, it's a new class for me sometimes. Well, I do a lot of the classes that are nearly the same class. It's all about teaching the medium, teaching the style, teaching what kind of art we're doing, such as color theory and things like that. So um, this is kind of a take on color theory, but it's basically coloring, but we will be adding other elements to the pieces, such as diamond dots and maybe even gold leaf. So it's a new way of teaching a different technique for kids and adults. So if you are watching this and you like to relax, this is a great way to relax. And it's kind of a segue into our future coloring book that we're going to be coming out with. And yeah, so these are not my designs. I'll just let you know. I purchased these. They are bookmarks. They look like this. They're coloring bookmarks, which we will have our own designs soon coming out, and they will be available on our website and such, and also at events. But let's get on with this because I don't have a lot of time to be live today, so it's going to be just sitting, chit chatting, and doing a little coloring. So let's go to the tabletop. Here we are at the tabletop. So I have this. Sorry for that. You don't see that, right? No hole in my desk. I don't know how to fix that. So the markers that I'm using today are Ohuhu markers, which are my favorite marker. They are alcohol markers. Now, one thing about using alcohol markers is that they will bleed through. So, um, in this case, I'm not going to be overly concerned with the bleed through. These are really thick cardstock, so they should be they should be fine. So let me see. Um, if you're if you have any questions, just jot it down in the chat with me, and I will try to answer as quickly as I can. Now, with using alcohol markers, these are really great for coverage. They usually don't give you like this overlay look. It really spreads nice and evenly. Um, they also can be layered with color as well. So these are really great markers. Let me see if I can show y'all. This is just some of them ones that I have. I don't know how many I have. A lot. I have a couple of these I think I have 2 bins of these like this. And am I going to let the children use these? Probably not. I have other markers that they will be using, but today we're going to use the Ohuhu markers. And I want to do this piece on a little bit of a teal pink range. So the greens are not going to be like typical green that you're going to see. I am going to pull out the markers here and lay them out so you guys can take a look at what the plan is. They're not, and some of these do look like the same color, but they are not. This is hunter green. This one is turquoise green. This one is forest green. Now, you wouldn't think that with the colors that are on them. We're going to do all the green levels in this piece today. This is mint green, so that's going to be on on the lighter scale of color. So we're going to go ahead and start working on these. These markers do have 2 ends to them, and first off, this is not a paid advertisement or anything for Ohuhu, but yes, Ohuhu, I love your markers. And I also have the paint, acrylic paint markers as well, paint pens by Ohuhu. So these have a fine tip, and this one also has a chisel tip. We will be using the fine tip because the larger the tip, the bigger the project, the smaller the tip, smaller project, right? So and what's nice is that they actually stack the lids either side. I have some paint markers that don't do that. They don't even stack on top of the ends, which is kind of annoying, if you know what I mean. So this is the darkest bluish color, even though it says that it's forest green. Yes, it's more blue. So it's kind of a crazy thing that it's not it's not the color you're going to expect it to be. So I always, when I work with alcohol markers, I work from the top down. So same thing with when I do paintings, I work from the top down. And this is just a sample piece that I'm working on to bring to the class. I try to have samples at all the classes so the kids can kind of see what they're going to be making. Because, I mean, you don't want to just like go in and say, oh no, I have no clue what that looks like. So, this is the goal today, is just to get in some of the color on here and do it live right here with you guys. Can you guys see the color? So once again, this color is supposed to be forest green. And when I think of forest green, I think of the green of the forest, right? This is definitely more on the wavelength of blue. And yeah, I'm gonna make the stem of that a little bit darker. They have a nice click when you close the lid. Make sure your markers are clicked in, and that's gonna save you on your markers in the long run. The next color I'm using here is called mint green. Obviously, it's going to be lighter, but it's not like the color values in these markers. They're not what you expect when you actually start working with them. I'm going to go ahead and just touch the whole thing here. They're different. So as you can see, because this is a thicker cardstock and it is kind of like has a shiny sheen to it, it's not going straight through. So which is really great because then you can color the other side as well. The next color I'm going to do is hunter green. And the Ohuhu markers come with a color swatching paper, so you can do a test and really see the color of all of these. And the other thing is like I mentioned before, Ohuhu markers are great for making layers of color. So you can definitely layer the colors on here and they will give you a different look every time. So I'm going to do this one off the side in this color. Did I bring y'all in any closer? I don't know if my camera's going to get too much closer to this because I have something in front of it over there. Let's see if I can get there. Okay, that's all right. That's a little bit better, right? So, um, so yeah, it's so much fun to just sit down and relax and color things. I'm going to show you a little bit of color overlay here. I'm not going to do all of these leaves. I'm just going to put one color in first. And then we're going to pull another color in on top of it. So one thing about coloring, it is so relaxing. I mentioned that just a minute ago. And that's why I have decided to make a Tiny Door community coloring book. We are currently doing it in connection with the Let's Vibe event. We're going to go back to the mint green. So the tiny doors that are being made at the event will be part of the community coloring book. I don't know if you guys can see the color value difference in this. Right here, the edges, it makes it a little glow edge on the side. So we will have a Tiny Door coloring book coming out and planning to also have a whimsical coloring book coming out as well with some of my illustrations. I don't show that much of my illustration work, my drawings. Um, that was what I used to love to do the most when I was younger, is draw. And I don't really draw as much as I used to, because I'm mostly doing painting at this point, but I still like to do drawing. And this is also going to be a project to get me to spend a little time chillaxing and making some beautiful art, but different than you normally might see me. We're going to go to the turquoise green. Have we used that yet? I'm not sure. Did I even say that one yet? I'm going to do the stem of this. Let me move that stem here of this in the turquoise green. Now, you really, if you have coloring books that have really thin pages, this will go through the paper. And if you have coloring pages that have images on the back, just know that that image on the back is probably going to disappear, or it's just going to have color blotches on it. So just keep that in mind when you are using markers like this. These are, like I said, they're alcohol markers. Um, and they smell like alcohol. You can definitely smell them. Now, I do work in alcohol ink as well. Basically the ink from these markers. But I don't even know if I have any right here. I think they're I have a whole storage area that's just for alcohol ink art. We're gonna go back to the hunter green, and um, alcohol ink is very smelly. So I'm just going to go in here. I'm going to do variations in this area here where this grasses are. I guess it's going to be grass. I'm just going to put in several of these colors in here to do this. Now, I know some people might find this boring to do. It's not boring at all. It takes you back. It takes you back to being a kid and coloring and making art. And coloring is really important because it is a skill that you learn to, for one, stay in the lines. And it also teaches you patience. I like to do coloring classes with the kiddos, and I usually do that as one of their first projects they do with me, um, just to get them. They're usually really excited to be in an art class and all hyped up, and I just want them to sit and relax and learn about skills first. So we usually do some type of a coloring project in the beginning of all my classes, um, for that initial class. And this year, this semester, we did making 2D art into 3D art, and that was a lot of fun. The kids really enjoyed it, and they got to do art in a little bit different way. We're gonna go to the turquoise green. I'm gonna pull this in. And like I said, I'm only going to do the elements of greens or turquoises in this piece today. We'll finish this up later on just for the sake of time. It's definitely getting later in the day. We've had guests and chit-chatting. It's actually the first time we've met them. They're Freddie's daughter's colleague, and they happen to be in town. And we gave them lots of tips and tricks and things to do. So they were really happy with all of our tourist guide experience. So they had a really good time here in town, and they're heading out. So this is their last day here. So they're trying to get in a bike ride. We're actually um out riding bikes on Palm Beach today, so which is right around the corner from us. This is mint green. So obviously it is because it's in biking distance from us. So they are on the island currently. So just putting in all different feels of these greens, which are really more on that blue level, blue scale. And I really like this one. And as you can see, they go on really easy. It's really a lot of fun to do. Just did that one. Let's go back to, let's go to the hunter green. Add some little darker spots in here. I'm going to take this one to the darker side. Get focused on me or the actual drawing. So what's good is that you can lay this down and get a wider angle, or you can lift it up to get a point. I shouldn't look up at the camera when I'm doing this, especially this tiny line. I had mentioned about Anthony Burks, the local artist here. He actually has a really cool collection of coloring books. They are ethnic mermaid coloring books, and they are so pretty. They're all designed by him, and I think he's on his fifth coloring book now. And beautiful coloring books. Let me see. I'm gonna do this. I'm going a little higher. Let's tilt the camera a little bit this way. A minute. Maybe I should do it this way for you guys. Let's do it upside down. For me, it's upside down. For you, it's not. I'm trying to cover this hole. Of course, this is the only place where my camera's reaching. A little big hole here. We're using the turquoise green for this one. I'm gonna go right here for this one. I'm gonna do the outside like this, and I'm gonna bring this down. And then I'm gonna do another color just on the edge of that one. I'm so used to some of the markers that don't let me put the tops back on. It's like, oh no, I forgot that I can actually put these on top. But I didn't do that. And we're going to do this really tall stem here in the forest green. You guys can see this. Thought I just heard something upstairs. Can't imagine they're already back. I mean, they're Dutch. They're born on bicycles. They were like, oh, we were saying some places where they were going to ride the bikes, and I'm like, well, it's kind of far. They're like, we're Dutch. Yeah, it's not far. And technically, it's far. If I ride the bike with Freddie, my bike tracks some mileage. And let me just say that a round trip bike ride with Freddie's around 14 miles. And yeah. There's this one piece of stem here. I think I am going to make that one a different color. Let's go to I think this is the hunter green. So it's really fun. And then if you wanted to shade things, there's some areas here. If you want to get little shadows and drop shadows in, you can do so too and overlap these colors. It's just kind of nice to be able to go in and give it some shading. Yeah. So this is our Make Art Monday series, and this is what I'm making. I'm doing this here. It will get some stones. Maybe I'll have a couple here so you can see. Hello. So think diamond dots and this little piece here. The little flat back things will go on there like this. So the kiddos can do all kinds of things like these. I think that I have some random ones laying around over here. They're little sparklies. They can use those. Maybe they want to put some in just random locations. Maybe this goes down here. We'll put this one here. Whoa, almost dropped something. And then I'm going to try to teach them about gold leaf in this piece as well. So that's for another day, and we will apply some gold leaf, and I'll show you how to do that. But this is the gist of the project. It's going to be for spring break class, and it's really simple to do, and it's also going to be for a contract I have with the library, and what better way to give kids a cool project but for them to make really beautiful bookmarks. So that's what this one is, and that's what we're making today. So I hope you guys like this project. And we're probably going to call this done for today. We will be back on Friday, and I will finish up this and show you some gold leaf on this piece on Friday. So with that being said, let's go back to the other view. All right. That being said, I'm going to call it for today. And this is day, oh goodness, what day is it? 47. 47. And I really appreciate you guys tuning in. I was just checking to see if anybody had any questions or anything. And if not, you can always just drop them in the comment section here on YouTube. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, ring the bell, and for more fun, artsy content right here on Art O'Clock with me, Nikki, with my company Tiny Doors WPB, and we're going to be going for the day. So good morning, good afternoon, good night, and thank you so much for watching. Tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow is Tuesday, because obviously today's Monday. Duh. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow, Tuesday. All right. Bye bye. Bye bye.